So here's the thing, sitting in Genshin isn't easy. No, hold on, you'll get what I mean in a second. See, you can find plenty of sitting spots all over Teyvat, in every major settlement, and even make your own if you have the gadget. But what makes one truly breathtaking is the satisfaction upon finally reaching that tip of Dragonspine, to find the perfect sitting spot right there, or finishing that desert questline that lands you here, a place I literally broke down in tears at after first arriving there. The best spots require work to get to, and truly immerse you in the atmosphere. There are our own personal journeys in the game, as the traveller, the witness, but also as the player. Above all, Genshin is a game that allows you to exist in the moment, to slow down and just be. Who remembers the first time they set foot in Dragonspine? No huge quests, just, yep, you're here, figure it out. As you wind through this once great civilization, now nothing but a pile of rubble scattered amidst a snowy wasteland, and you explore the icy corridors. Eventually, you reach this. This is a challenge in itself, having to figure out how to fix the nail as you ascend the icy peaks, fighting off the cold and hordes of monsters. And what does it reward you with, if not one of the greatest views in Genshin? This, probably very cold, stone seat invites you to stop and sit, and freeze your butt off, to savour the moment of triumph, as you have finally reached the tip of the mountain, and can look out over all of Teyvat. Or, there's the simplicity of the Springvale bench, likely the first one most players will come across, that isn't in the city, and it perfectly encapsulates that serene countryside vibe. You even get company at this one if you sit on it during the day. You're so real for that, Marla. The backdrop of Springvale is so picturesque. The breeze keeping the windmill turning, the blades of grass being whisked away by it, and the flowers sleeping gently underneath your feet. We can see the simple countryside cabins that the villagers head back to after a hard day's work. Or perhaps they even make their way over to this bench, as the music changes from a wistful, nostalgic longing to a more melancholic wind down that makes me wish for a time I never even experienced. It feels particularly calm at night as everyone is asleep, and across from you are the distant lights of the city bathed in fog. There isn't all that much distance between the village and the city really, but the lake dividing them creates that illusion of it being farther away than it is. I believe world design is honestly where Genshin truly shines, because you know what else makes a sitting spot truly remarkable? When it's used as a set piece, a prop to introduce a new region. Stone Gate is generally the first impression players get of Liyue, and this isn't just about the seat, but the picture as a whole. The player has just left Mondstadt and made their way along the road to Liyue. They receive signs that things are changing, like the lanterns and towers, but they can't quite see beyond the mountains. That is, until they pass through, and the world opens up right in front of their eyes. The closer you get to the bench and the marsh, the more sounds start to show up. Of course there's the music, oh the music, but it never overstays its welcome, almost as if acting in harmony with the wildlife. I think this was the first time in my personal Genshin journey where it really clicked for me. It was reaching Liyue and being stun-locked by the scenery and having to sit down for a good few minutes. This is also where the benches now change, and I like to personally think of this bench as not having even originally been here considering the way it's placed, but rather dropped here by a passerby that wished to sit and enjoy the view same as us. Liyue as a region understands the assignment very well. Many Liyueans make pilgrimages through the mountains to pay respect to the Adepti, and along these trails you can find many rest spots. Liyue as a whole is a region that invites us to stop and take in the moment, a moment of stillness and reflection. Then there's Chenyu Vale with some of the most breathtaking views imaginable, and this one spot right here, facing the player directly towards this, truly one of Teyvat's wonders. The atmosphere feels like Liyue still, but also something more mystical, otherworldly, especially when you have views like this. Out in the wild, away from civilization, sitting spots also become intertwined with their environments. In the case of Chenyu Vale, it's a log, with a cute little footrest too. fear and beauty intertwined in this monstrously alien mushroom. The pretty light is not there to invite you in. It's meant to enrapture you while the creeping crawling of the abyss slowly envelops all around you. You're not safe here, far from it. This is the deepest part of the chasm where the abyss is at its worst. Even still, it's one of Genshin's most unique sitting spots. Light shines off the mushroom like the sun, and the water below it glows in kind, carrying those same blue particles that float all around you. Everything going on in this scene works together so your focus is on the alien mushroom thing. Abandoned places in Genshin that have long since seen human activity don't have man-made sitting spots. As it is for the chasm, so it is for Enkanomiya. Enkanomiya is the most isolated place in Teyvat. Subsumed under the darkness, only remnants of old civilizations remain. Ghosts wander, lost to time and to the ley lines. The place feels empty but also not, like there are eyes around every corner. And with contextual understanding of this place, you feel it almost pushing you away, as if simply setting foot in Enkanomiya for the first time wasn't enough. On the island just before the Dainichi Mikoshi is a stone sitting spot with neighborhood hillachels enjoying the view alongside you, just far enough that they don't attack. Behind you sits a lone rock lantern, hanging from a branch attached to a broken arch, while in front lie the hopes and dreams of all who once called this place home, and a quiet emptiness. The worst part though, outside of this, Inazuma has barely any sitting spots. There is a sitting spot in Sumeru that I absolutely love, because I love the implication about this one, given the decorations that litter it, that it must be frequented by the forest rangers, as they're the only people likely to access this spot. This one is best enjoyed at sunset, as it's angled perfectly for the sun to rise between the two mountains. There are some spots in Genshin that defy all meaning, and that speak directly to you. Having journeyed throughout the desert, we had come so far in the quest with Jet, a person we the traveller and the player felt a deep connection to finally reach the oasis after so many trials overcome. Multiple things flooded my brain. One, Jet, and what her character at this moment frozen in time must have felt. And two, all the lore we had discovered up to this point culminating in these free seats. And then by Archon, the music kicks in, a moment frozen in time, forged from love in the middle of a desert. Suffice to say, I broke down in tears. Sometimes you'll even come across sitting spots that directly interact with the environment, such as this sitting spot in Fontaine, complete yet seemingly abandoned by its creator. Sitting down at the same time as the painting will grant you a chest, and it even moves the camera to the same angle. And this is pretty recent, as the destroyed institute is included in it. The lamp is still lit, the campfire laid out nicely. It's a simple and cute piece of world building. These seats in Fontaine are a bit different to previous ones, and even have metal handles either side. I would also like to share my personal favourite, where you get a free house to boot. Along the shorefront near Poisson is a lone house and dock with plenty going on. Can you imagine living here? Every time you set foot outside of your house and go to sit at this table, you get a view like this. I think it's even more potent at night, as the city seems to come alive with light. Even underwater, Fontaine has some very unique seats. In these glass domes, you can watch the sea life all around you, or for a more melancholy backdrop, trade this one for a Romurian version. Boy, I still remember the first time I saw Scylla through that window, and the sheer size of it just overwhelming me. Oh, wrong spot. Natlan did the exact opposite of Inazuma and has so many amazing spots. They went for a lot more scenic overlooks. When you think about it, making them quite dangerous if you consider it from an in-world perspective. Except for the Natlanese that live alongside Saurians and can roam around pretty much everywhere. The bench has that Natlan flair made from rock and wood and covered in paint. The entire region's design is centered around the Stadium of the Sacred Flames, so it only makes sense that there would be a sitting spot to show this. From here, you can see the whole of Natlan, and how all the roads lead back to the stadium. It's rather poetic, really. The stadium is a beacon of hope for the people, and unites them towards a common cause. Over here, it looks like someone from the Flower Feather clan has set up a chair and table to enjoy the view, or perhaps to keep watch, who's to say. We even have spots as simple as this that do so much to make the world seem more alive. Nod-krai, similar to Natlan, has metal sitting spots at all of the most crucial viewpoints, but I think what makes these ones unique is that they're all metal folding chairs, which leaves the impression that other NPCs out in the region are placing them down here on purpose. And honestly, I don't blame them. How can you argue with a view like that? Initially, I had planned for this video to be quite different to how it turned out. I went in planning to make a tier list, ranking sitting spots from best to worst, and well, I did do that, but now, having journeyed through so much of Teyvat with sitting at the forefront of my mind, it made me realise how important the mundanity of the game is too, of stepping back and just appreciating the beauty of Teyvat's world building, and I wanted to share that with all of you.